I want to take a look at the markets today because we've got an almost perfect contrarian setup in uh, in both markets, gold and stocks. Um, we are getting, um, an irrational, um, optimistic gap up move on the employment report, and that is causing traders, it's triggering emotions. It's making people think that they are missing the move and that they've got to get into stocks. Go to the S&P. Hang on, let me take the Bollinger Bands off here for a second. Um, so this is an emotional move. It's traders are now afraid they are missing the move. They've missed this already, and now they are becoming extremely optimistic. And logically, we all know that this is not over yet. There's still going to be high unemployment for a while, and I said this was going to happen as we opened the economy. The market is pricing that in. Once it gets fully priced in, then we're going to, at some point, we're going to have to face reality that um, unemployment isn't going to go back to 3.5% immediately, and there are going to be um, long-lasting problems, and then that's the point at which we'll get a top, and we'll start to move down into the next intermediate cycle low. So this is a perfect example of irrational exuberance happening today, and um, smart money will probably be selling into this gap up. Anybody that's been holding their position all the way up here, this is a bell ringing that maybe it's time to start taking profits. That doesn't mean that it has to top. We could very well, the Fed could very well keep this propped up into the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. But I think smart money is going to be viewing this as an irrational move. Everybody, traders have become overly confident, and the correct um, strategy, in my opinion, anyway, would be to be taking profits into this irrational move, not uh, you know trying to chase this late in the rally. And then the exact opposite is happening with gold. Um, we're getting a sell off, and in the meantime, the dollar is still not strengthening, which you would think it would be on a good employment report. The dollar, the currencies, they know that this is not over yet, and so we've got an irrational move to the downside as well, and you can see it in the comments on the blog. People are, complete despair. They wanted the metals to break out and run, and they want to be making money right now, and the market is not giving them what they want, so they're um, we're getting complete despair. I'm starting to get cancellations. That's just par for the course. Most people really aren't emotionally equipped to be contrarians, and so they don't make it through these periods. Um, so while stocks look like you should be buying, they are um, probably the best strategy is to be selling into that irrational move. And while gold is selling off, um, the the correct strategy is probably going to be to buy um, this sell-off. Now, I'm not going to advise you to try and pick a bottom today. I almost always just wait for at least a swing, something that gives me some indication that the trend has reversed. And of course, we can't get that today. Let me go over to the miners. All right, so I put the Bollinger Bands in. At least early this morning anyway, we were in a Bollinger Band crash. That is usually a sign of uh, irrational pessimism. People have gotten way too negative. We did this morning. We did come down to test this breakout level right in here. I've been saying it. That breakout level between 31 and 32. It would not be at all unusual to test that level. We've got a gap right here. We almost filled it, not quite. I would really like to see today close below this Bollinger Band so we get an official signal of a Bollinger Band crash. Um, and if that were to occur, then I might try and pick a bottom Monday morning. Right now, it's bounced enough to where we don't actually have an official crash, so we'll have to see where this closes. But you know, again, irrational pessimism here, irrational exuberance in the stock market. The correct strategy is probably to do the opposite of what your emotions are telling you to do. Um, we'll just have to see how we close here. Um, you know, hopefully we can get a Bollinger Band crash and then get a buy signal on Monday. If not, then this reversal is setting up a swing on Monday, and then maybe that would be the point at which we want to buy, is on that swing. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. But again, contrarian signals are setting up. Too much optimism in the stock market, too much pessimism in the metals market.